Hate. Hate is a very strong word. Hate is a word that people actually use in their everyday life and don't understand exactly how much power that word holds. People can say, "Oh, I hate this new movie that came out," or "I hate sugar on grits," or "I hate this new so on and so forth." It just doesn't matter. So, whenever I think of this year's Call of Duty, I don't think of necessarily it was the team's creative direction that really killed the game. It was more of the line of just the hate from the inner community itself, along with people who just tend to hate Call of Duty just to hate it. Now, don't get me wrong, there are things about this Call of Duty that just wasn't a good mood on Activision side. So when it comes to this game's sales being down nearly 48%, almost close to 50%, half of what Black Ops 3 sold in the UK, it's making it apparent that, okay, what do we do next with this new series, or what really went wrong with this game? And I think the main thing that went wrong with this game was a mix of even Activision's own formula backfiring on them of, okay, if it's not broke, don't fix it. But a lot of people are crying for change, and as soon as they change with Advanced Warfare, when they completely change the entire movement system, even how the even guns work when it translates to that movement system, people didn't know how to react towards that. So instantly we got hate. And then when it was word that Infinite Warfare was coming out, there was still boost jumping. It was still in the future. Same like it was the pretty much the exact same thing over and over again. So people gravitated to hate the game. Now, when it comes to is the game actually good, and I know me personally, I've even gravitated towards that hate and not even being aware of it. I haven't even played the game while I'm saying the game could potentially hurt the series, or just saying that the game could even be bad. So I've actually picked up Infinite Warfare, and I clocked in about 30 hours into the game, and I can honestly say this is a Call of Duty that I enjoy. I know a lot of people that may be hard to hear because everyone's saying, this is wrong, the guns are wrong, the settings wrong, let's just play the Modern Warfare remaster, blah blah blah. So everyone's going off on pretty much just to hate the game, and there are actually people out there who actually are really enjoying the game, and people are saying, I don't understand why this game got so much hate. I'm having fun, because every single lobby I had when I played on the PC version, I've gotten pretty much that reaction. But of course, I can also understand exactly why people are pretty much getting more distant from the franchise. With Activision's "if it's not broke, don't fix it" type of attitude, we actually have another Call of Duty that is actually pretty much Black Ops 3 2.0. And Black Ops 3 actually sold very, very good and was actually well received within the community. So what made this game so different? So if you look back on Modern Warfare 2 compared to Modern Warfare 3, Modern Warfare 3 actually sold more than Modern Warfare 2. So Call of Duty has actually been going in this trend to where they just want the next game to outdo whatever game has come out previously. But it seems like their sales are starting to dip down, and people are starting to either move on from the Call of Duty series, or they're just I'm gonna wait till somebody comes out with a review, and then if it sounds good or if I see something good, then I'll pick it up. So that's what's been going on with this whole Call of Duty sales dip, and then also the digital sales, and just moving on to all next gen, only Xbox One, PS4, and PC is also taking a huge hit as well. So with all this being said, what's actually different in Infinite Warfare? And to tell you the truth, the main thing that's different is the fact that they actually nailed the futuristic setting. The guns do feel like they're in the future, and the guns actually do feel kind of the similar as Modern Warfare 3 mixed with some Black Ops 3. So when it comes to the gameplay and the multiplayer of how it plays, it actually plays very well. But of course, it's not that much of a change from the previous Call of Duties. Yeah, they do put in, the famous nostalgic map Terminal to get people to actually want to play the game. And of course, they've come out with the new action-packed zombies mode that actually is chock filled with content that is actually my favorite zombies mode ever since Black Ops 1 and Black Ops 2. Even the campaign is even chock filled with content. They actually have it to where not only do you have just your main missions that you can do, there's actually even side missions within the game that actually get you different rewards and also unlock different things when it comes to the story. So they actually give you a ton of content with the game just to make sure that they keep you playing for a while. Now, if the game can actually deliver on all those ends, what's making the game fall short with either people in the community or people outside the community that's looking at all this hate and saying, wow, I'm not going to buy that game, that must be bad? The main thing is it's just from the sheer fact of Activision saying rinse and repeat. We're gonna do, if it's not broke, we're not gonna fix it, or we're gonna tweak it and try to add on more different things onto it, and it's actually turning a lot of people off. But the main thing that people are wanting to go back to is that nostalgic feeling. They want to go back to, oh, I want to have that same feeling I had when I played Modern Warfare 2 for the first time. Even though technically that game was technically broken ever since it came out. Just all the dumb shit you can do in the game. People want that old feeling that they had when they first played Call of Duty. And what people don't even realize is Call of Duty's been doing this same rinse and repeat shit ever since the beginning when people were calling these Call of Duties great. Modern Warfare and Modern Warfare 2, they do have a difference when it comes to visually and then also how much stuff you can do within the multiplayer. But at its core, it was pretty much the exact same thing. It just gave you more things to do in multiplayer. Modern Warfare 3 did the exact same thing. It was exactly like Modern Warfare 2 on this part where they really didn't tone up the graphics as much. But they just added in more things within the multiplayer to keep you playing and just pretty much to keep you having fun and give you a lot of customization. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm actually very aware that the original Infinity War is actually at Respawn Entertainment that recently put out Titanfall 2. But at the exact same time, it kind of has me thinking because this newer Infinity War popped up around Modern Warfare 3. So, is it really the creative end that really had that spark that drove the game more? Or was it just because one development team did something good and Activision was like, alright, you're going to keep doing that? And maybe they could have got sick of it, didn't want to make the game anymore, and was like, fuck it, we're out. So it could be a whole lot of different things coming into place of why it's still pushing for change, but at the same time, they want to keep it close to what really sold good and what was really good. Because if you look at the other games, they're building on what the other development teams have also put out. And then even also with the original Black Ops series looked almost nearly the same as Modern Warfare 2, except it was a little bit slower paced and it had a different setting to it. Yet people loved these games and people ran out day one, midnight, whenever just to pick the games up. So it seems like people are getting more aware of what Activision's doing. And Activision even took it upon themselves, like, you know what, we're going to bring in another development team so all these teams have a whopping 3 years to develop the game. Because back then, they only had maybe almost 1.5 or 2 full years just to do it. So now they actually have 2.5 to 3 years to actually put more time into the game. So they just want to make sure that these people can actually put in enough content to keep people buying Call of Duty. But another thing that's also been killing Call of Duty is the whole supply drop fiasco where they're putting in these weapons that have either higher stats or lower stats than whatever version you might get. And to tell you the truth, when it comes to Infinite Warfare, I'm not really all that annoyed with the supply drops in the game because at the moment you cannot buy them with actual money, but trust me, they're gonna implement that bullshit at some point. But the weapons aren't really, doing more damage than other weapons, or maybe they might up the fire rate on one or up the accuracy on another one, but then drop down maybe the damage on it or anything like that. So when it comes down to the balancing of those weapons, I don't really see anything wrong with it because I really haven't had that issue like, oh, he's using the Fallout version of the NV and I'm using the base version. He keeps killing me. What's going on? Like, I really have not had that problem. I've been using the base web versions of all those weapons and I still do good in multiplayer. So when it comes down to that, I'm really not seeing that much of a difference when it comes to that. I think they actually got the balancing done better than Advanced Warfare because when they had all those different weapon variations, that was a little bit of a problem because the Speakeasy ASM1 was just completely overpowered compared to any other weapon. And even that big old laser gun that you actually got to use that shot a constant beam of energy on the PC version, if you had a Super Beast PC, it would actually follow the frame rate, so it would actually even shoot more compared to what it's supposed to do just because your PC is running better. So when it came to stuff like that, that was just clear signs of, yo, what the fuck y'all doing? But I'm not really having any issues when it comes to Infinite Warfare on the PC, but I will say there has been some instances only on, I think, the second day we actually ran into one hacker, but he was just saying, oh, I'm going to test out my new hacking stuff, and he pretty much had aimbots and other different stuff just to make him shoot faster. But he was just like, I'm just gonna do all this and try to see if I can sell it for profit. He was proud of hacking it. He did it for about a good maybe couple hours, and then after that, haven't seen him since, or his Steam profile, because I think that shit got banned, but I'm not sure. But The PC community for Call of Duty has always been like a nice, good handful of people. It's not like completely small to where you'll never find a game, but there's like that core group of people who still do love Call of Duty on PC. And hey, it even sells even decent on PC. It's been on the top selling list on Steam for some weeks now. So when it comes to Infinite Warfare, my actual final thoughts on the game, because I know a lot of people are either hating the game or loving the game, I would actually say just give it a shot. I would say definitely give it a shot. If you just want a shooter to play and just have some fun, it's a pretty fun game. If you like Black Ops 3, it's pretty much the same thing, unfortunately. But Activision already got it in their head at this point that, okay, well, we need to get rid of this futuristic shit. And if you want Call of Duty to go back to the good old days, when it still didn't change, but it was still fun to you, then either get the Legacy Edition, get suckered into spending the $80 on some shit you already played, just that better graphics. It just depends on you. So when it comes to Infinite Warfare, do I actually recommend the game? I actually do. I'm actually having a blast with the game. I'm having fun. Even the PC version, out of all versions, is still fun. I don't understand it. It's still mind-boggling me to this day, but I'm not afraid to actually admit that the game is actually fun. So I would like to thank you guys for actually tuning into this video. I thought I had to make sure I can make this just to shed some light on this game because it's actually not as bad as what people are making it out to be. So I would like to thank you guys for tuning in. I really hope you enjoyed it. And this is Double Edge Games, and peace out.